When we're recovering from a back injury and we need to stabilize our spine, there's 3 big exercises that we want to be able to do efficiently. First, we're going to start with a warm-up, then we'll come to those exercises. So for our warm-up, we're going to get into a hands and knees position. We're going to have our wrists directly beneath our shoulder and our knees directly beneath our hip. From this position, I'm going to drop my head and push my back up towards the ceiling. And that's going to put me into a nice spinal flex position. Then I'm going to relax back to my neutral position. Then I'm going to lift my head up, drop my belly, and that's going to point my tailbone up towards the ceiling. That's going to put me into a spinal extension position. And then I'll bring it back to the middle. And I'm just going to work back and forth between that spinal flexion and that spinal extension position. The reason why this is so beneficial is that we're in an unloaded position, so we can really tolerate movement very well here. If I know that extension is a problem for me, that this might be an irritating position, then I might just go from a neutral position to a flexion and back to neutral. If I know that my flexion position is very irritating, then I might find that I just want to go into an extension and back to neutral. With each of those, if I go into a little bit of that flexion without irritating or a little bit of extension without irritating, I want to start to take the available motion I can get without causing an increase in my symptoms. Now that we want to get to our stabilizing exercises, what we want to do is lay on our back first. And we're going to have one leg straight. If you have a painful leg, that's going to be the preferred straight leg. So I'm going to call my left leg my painful leg, or my painful side of my back. I'm going to put that leg flat. I'm going to place my hands underneath the small of my back on both sides. And then from here, all I'm going to do is pick my head up just enough to take the weight of my head off of the ground. So I'm just going to lift my head up an inch or two and relax it. I'm going for a 10-second hold when I do this, just lifting the weight up off the ground and relaxing it. Now I should feel that there's no change in my back when I'm doing that position. What I want to be able to do is work my way up to a 10-second hold with a 5-second rest in between rounds, and I'm going to do that 6 times. Then I'm going to take a full 30 seconds to rest, and then I'm going to go through 4 more rounds with a full 30-second rest at the end, and then 2 more rounds after that. That'll help prevent any fatigue or any cramping that I might get when it happens. The next exercise we want to do is a side plank exercise. So I just want to roll around to my side. My legs are going to be stacked and slightly bent, and I'm resting on my elbow, my forearm, with my elbow directly beneath my shoulder. I'm going to bring my hand to my opposite shoulder, and then all I'm going to do is just lift my hip up off the ground, and I want to be able to hold that for 10 seconds. When I'm done, I put my hip down, I rest for 5 seconds, and I'm going to go through that for 6 rounds. After my 6th round, I'm going to take a full 30-second rest. Then I'm going to go through 4 rounds, a full 30-second rest, and then 2 rounds. I'm also going to want to switch and do the opposite side. The last exercise that we're going to want to do is going to be what we call a bird dog. So we're going to come back into our hands and knees position. And in my neutral spine position, my back isn't necessarily flat. I do have a little bit of a backwards bend in my back, and that's neutral. And all I want to do is engage my abdominals, and I'm going to pick one arm and the opposite leg, and I'm going to try to reach them straight forward with my arm and straight back with my leg. I want to be able to hold this for 10 seconds, and then return to my starting position. Take a 5-second rest, go through my next one, again working towards a 10-second hold. And I want to work through 6 repetitions of that. Then I'm going to take my full 30-second rest, 4 repetitions, 30-second rest, and then 2 repetitions. And then I'm also going to switch and do the opposite arm and leg. With all these exercises, if you can't do a full 10-second hold, start with what you can do. If you can only do a 5-second hold or a 3-second hold, that's fine. We're working towards a 10-second hold. We want to start to increase that stability, maintain a neutral spinal position, and these exercises should all be tolerated very well because when the spine's not moving, it doesn't get irritated. We want to learn to maintain that normal spine, and then when we start to introduce more movement patterns, that spine stays unirritated.